The jobs report set the tone, and the afternoon is quietly taking it back. American employers cut 23,000 jobs in July against forecasts for a gain of around 80,000, and the important consequence is one that gets described backwards. This market was pricing a real chance of another rate rise in September, roughly 55% of one, and the weak print knocked that down to about 20. This is relief that a hike is off the table, not the arrival of a cut, and a relief rally is exactly the kind that fades. Look at what the last 3 hours have done. Microsoft printed 505.18 in the opening hour, the highest of its entire post-earnings run, and now trades at 499.92, dead flat on the day. Apple touched 314.81 and is flat. Meta touched 598 and gave back most of it. Only Tesla and Nvidia are holding what they gained. And that surge fired every momentum trigger on this watch list at once, which means not a single name can generate a buy on the next bar. The whole board is now waiting for a pullback, and this afternoon is delivering one. Equity sits at $5,117.27, up $7.65 on the day, and the book is quietly green. The Apple position carries the weight, with 15 shares worth $4,693.65 and a thin unrealized gain of $3.60. The engine stood pat since the last briefing, no fills, and the synthetic stop at $306.42 leaves 2.12% of air before anything forces a move. Cash of $423.47 and buying power of $14,836.52 mean the desk could act, but it chose not to. The decision board now ranks Tesla at priority 6, up from 4, while MSFT, NVDA, Meta, and Amazon reshuffled beneath it. With only one position allowed and Apple still held, a new long must displace the old one, and the circuit breaker at 0% of 5% keeps the door open. Tesla takes the front of the queue, and it earns that on two things rather than on today's price. The first is direction. Every name on this watch list has already spent its momentum trigger in this morning's surge, so the only route back into a trade is a pullback that resets the gauge, and Tesla's gauge is already falling toward that reset, while Microsoft's is still climbing away from it. The second is durability. Microsoft slips one place, and the reason is worth separating carefully from the business, because the business is fine. The problem is the direction of its momentum gauge. Every candidate here has already used up its trigger, so each one needs to fall back before it can fire again. And Microsoft's gauge is the only one on the approved list still climbing away from that reset rather than drifting toward it. The tape says the same thing in a different language. Nvidia holds third place by having two ways back into a trade when everything else on this board has one. Its momentum trigger is spent like all the others, and the pullback needed to reset it is comfortably inside what its quality filters could survive. That route is sound but slow. The second route is what makes it interesting. Nvidia trades against the tightest volatility band on this watch list, and price is sitting just under the top edge of it with the bottom edge less than 2% below. Meta is eligible to buy, and the reason it is eligible has firmed up in a way worth being precise about. All three of its quality filters now pass, where until recently only one did. Its momentum line was well negative, and its faster average sat below the slower one, which meant no signal it produced could ever fire. What matters today is not just that the repair happened, but that it stopped being hairline. Amazon drops down the queue on the single sharpest deterioration anywhere on this board, and it is worth stating as a number rather than a mood. Amazon's long-run trend filter is one of the three conditions any buy needs, and price clears it right now by 5 cents. Earlier today, it cleared by nearly 1%. The stock faded from 278.31 to 274.41 through the afternoon and dragged itself almost exactly onto the line.